to the Garden.
Yes.
The fourth installment.
Yeah.
Man, we've been rocking with this for a minute, y'all. But before I get into anything else, everybody that's listening, everybody that's watching out there in Cameroon, in the States, in Europe, I want y'all to wish my brother a happy solar return. My man is young and getting younger. It's a beautiful brother out here doing God's work, serving himself and his others. So please, please, please send my man all the birthday wishes. He had a lovely birthday weekend. How are you doing, brother?
Brother, I can't complain. I'm gonna clap for myself for that one, man. You know
what I
mean?
Man, yes.
You know what I mean, come on, man. Excuse me. Honestly, the grace of God has been upon us, man. You know what I mean? Can't complain at all, bro. Really, man. Just the fact that we can wake up and see the light, you know what I'm saying, is a blessing. You know, and I feel like we're born every single day into a new day, man. We're always being reborn, man, every single day. You know what I mean? We come out into the womb of darkness, into the presence of light every single day, man. So happy birthday to all of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because all of y'all, you know, y'all born into a new day. Bruh, we've come down to the fourth installment, like you said, but then you said something. You said we're going to give them one bonus. So they don't know that, but they know right now that they got a bonus coming.
Yes, yeah, y'all. All right, so here's the thing, man. My brother and I, we went into the vault. You know, we had some conversations, and we came to the conclusion that we're going to give y'all a bonus episode. Now, y'all won't even know the thumbnail, the artwork of this bonus episode, because that's how juicy it's going to be. We decided that a month-long section within the garden, you know, it's good, but there is one more piece that we can give you all. But with that being said, we're not going to divulge too much information, nor will we even let you all know when the release date is going to be.
Right.
Just when it's there, it's just going to be there, and you're going to be like, damn. But with that being said, today, man, we're talking about why negativity spreads faster than positivity, the free radicals. Now, man, you know, we have said that this one we were gonna be cordial, but at the same time, we coming with a different type of energy this time.
Yeah, man, we not. Man, I think for this one right here, there's really no reason to hold back on this one, man, because as sad as it is, man, we just gonna have to say it like it is, man. Call a spade a spade.
Yes. Go ahead and kick it off, brother. So why is it that negativity spreads faster than positivity?
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, brother. You know how it is, man. We always like to blame everything outside of ourselves, man. You know, it's always somebody else's fault. You know, it's you know, I mean, of course.
Already. Yes, I agree with you. Yes.
You know, it's never our fault, man. Why there's just negative stuff happening, man. You know, it's always somebody else's fault, man. And you know, I want to say this, man. The positive and the negative exist in us first, and it exists in every single one of us. We all got that potential, and sometimes even you being positive is negative to somebody.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But in my humble opinion, I think that if we are to truly understand why some people tend to be more negative, or why some people tend to gravitate more towards negativity, we would have to examine the mind well first to see what parts of the brain, you know what I mean, stimulate negative thoughts, or what part of the brain, you know what I'm saying, gravitates us to project more negativity. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're not going to point the finger at somebody else. We're going to point it at ourselves, because we all have that potential. We all have the capability to project negative energy. You know what I mean? So I think that, I was doing some research and I was talking about cortisol. Cortisol is that chemical in the brain that is responsible for negative energy. I'm going to throw this out there. I want y'all to do some research, because people be thinking that you just going to give it to them. Like, nowadays, people want you to go to the farm, you go harvest the food, you come back home, you clean it, you cook it, you put it on the table, then you call them, you put them on their lap, you chew it, you bite it, put it in their mouth, and even force it down their stomach for them to swallow. People want you to do everything. Go online. Don't take the words from me. Go online and do your own research on God. Understand your own mind. Why do you think negative sometimes? Go and do some research.
You said the perfect thing. Cortisol is the stress hormone.
Right.
And with the state of the world nowadays, people are constantly in a state of fear. Thus, their cortisol level is raised. Thus, their immune system is shot. So now you're just walking around within a low vibration, and if you're not doing the research internally and externally to find out why you are this way, then you're going to be unconsciously spreading this
Yeah.
fear across the globe, and that doesn't serve anybody. That only
Right.
continues to hurt yourself, others, and the planet. So
Right.
you hit the nail on the head too with saying that we first have to come to realize that those energies are one and the same because we're neutral first. We all
Right.
operate at 532 hertz, which is neutrality frequency. Above that, I think like 580 or 590, like 600 is the love frequency. So we know right out the dome that we're neutral. It's only the external sources and what the brain continues to focus on manifest itself. So prime example, scientists, I forget exactly what it's called, but basically it's a law of observation. If you observe something or go to observe something, it will appear. And the longer you stay fixated on that molecule, the more it will grow. But the minute you stop paying attention to it, it will slowly fade away. That's the
Right.
same thing when it comes to um, anything negative that's on social media or anything positive as well. It just so happens that people aren't aware of knowing that these energies are just as they're one. They're
Right.
equally as strong. So one thing we have to keep in mind, and for those of you who don't know, when it comes to let's take emotions for an example, an emotion is just a chemical response in the brain, and it only lasts 90 seconds, which means during that 90 seconds, you can either be in a positive frequency or you can be in a lower frequency. But
Right.
you will always come back to neutral. You will always come back to love. Now,
Yep.
depression and anxiety plays a factor in this when we continue to pay too much attention to or wallow too long within said emotion. Whether it's negativity, for an example, we wallow in depression, or we are extremely happy, then people may look at us like, oh, nobody's that happy all the time. You know what I mean? So negativity has a tendency to and will spread faster than positivity because it's one and the same. And as humans are drawn to the clout. You know what I mean? Humans are drawn to the rah, rah, rah. So we have to really shift our perspective on what we choose to pay attention to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a very big factor into how it spreads and how quickly it spreads.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that because what you mentioned is actually a solution. And I'm glad that throughout these whole episodes, we've been talking more about solutions than the problem. You know what I mean? And the problem as the question, but we get straight into the solution. You know what I mean? I think that's very, very necessary. Me personally, I'm tired of the negativity. And you always hear me, I speak about it. I say, I'm going to say something that's going to piss anybody off that's coming at me with any form of negativity. And I'm not going to stop. And I'm encouraging more people to not be afraid to stand up to heal people who are going through their negative vibrations. But some people actually know they're negative and they intentionally want to use that to lower your vibration down to their state. You know what I'm saying? So don't be thinking that there's people out here who don't know that they negative and you're going to get it twisted. That's why I say, if you come at me some type of way, and if I address it cordially and formally in a respectful way, you still coming at me, then you're really trying to get me to triple your vibration, but annihilate it at the same time. We're going to exterminate it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an emotion, like it's energy and motion, but sometimes we're going to neutralize it and get you to really see that you got to do unto other people as you want done onto you. Don't be out here projecting bad vibes on people when you know you don't want that type of energy done onto you. You know what I mean? It's just as simple as that. People need to be able to catch themselves. We getting into an age where we can't always be blaming other people, man. And shit ain't even that deep. When people is like, when somebody's response to your action shows discomfort and it shows that they're not pleased, right off of the bat, you need to take some steps back, re-examine it, reevaluate, and make sure that you come at it different. It's just like that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah,
most people are not trying to do that, bro. Most people, and I'm gonna let you finish real quick. Most people are aware of their toxic traits, but at the same time, most people can't even apologize. They'll come at you with a non-apology to say, I acknowledge this, which, don't get me wrong, an acknowledgement is something that is good on your behalf. However, I made a video about this. If you can't apologize for hurting another human being, whether it was intentionally or unintentionally, then what is going on inside of you? Is your ego so big to the point where you can't, it absolutely kills you to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. There's some things that I need to work on inside of me. I find that most people, man, who are operating within this toxic frequency, they continue to run from themselves because they know that they've just been out here doing people injustice unconsciously, but at the same time, they're aware of it. but what are you doing to break that shit? You can't just leave and come back and think things are going to be straight. No, it's not going to work like that, because people like you and I, we catch on to the fact of what it is that you're doing, and we will hold that space for you with boundaries, but at the same time, your ass needs to be held accountable. I'm not going to hold you accountable unless you hold yourself accountable. Please continue.
Yeah. And the whole goal of us even talking about this is to get into a state of sattva. We want to get into a state of balance. You know what I mean? Where we recognize that, God damn, man, there's so much oxygen to breathe, man. We all just want to breathe this air. Why is that some people want to make you suffocate? You know, we just want to breathe this air. There's so much air, man. Let's just breathe. Can you just respect the fact that I'm here with you, you know what I'm saying, sharing in this moment, you know? And then one thing too, brother, even though right now we've talked about this from the standpoint of the person, the individual, it is also good to be aware that, like how we said, there are people who are aware of the power of negative energy, and they intentionally propagate that, you know what I'm saying, be it through visuals, be it through, you know, auditory systems, you know what I mean, or whatever frequencies or whatever the case may be. There are people who have studied this form of energy, and they know how to project it to hit the psyche in different ways that keep people prone to that type of energy. For instance, movies, you know what I mean? When we talk about movies that are just projecting a lot of negativity, it's not because they can't project movies that inspire the society to really gravitate towards that golden age that we're talking about. But some people know the power of keeping people in fear. You know what I mean? There's a certain group of people who understand the importance, well, I won't say the importance, but the power of keeping people in fear, man. And they use negativity as that. You know what I'm saying? They got to project their movies, you know what I'm saying? Music too, a lot of negativity in music, you know what I'm saying? Even just then, when you watch all of this stuff, you listen to all of this stuff, and then, you know, your whole childhood, you grew up in neighborhoods where it's just that type of music you listen to, or you keep friends around you that, you know what I'm saying, that's all that they vibing with. Eventually your mind just gravitates to it. You thinking it's normal. Negativity to you now just becomes normal. People now just cherish drama. Drama is like a regular thing where people spazzing out, cursing at you, and, you know what I'm saying, mad because you did whatever the case is, projecting that energy consistently, and it's normal to them, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we're here to not normal, because there's people out here that's going to definitely rebuke that type of energy. I'm rebuking negativity, bro, every single day. I'm rebuking it on all the levels. If we can't vibrate from a level of love, then I don't even want to really necessarily associate myself with it, especially if I'm trying to tell you that I'm not pleased and I'm not confident with the way you're coming at me, and you feeling like you got some type of upper hand to project negativity on me, then of course I'm going to counter that some type of way. You know what I mean? We're going to have to keep some type, we're going to have to come to a certain type of wall on that. But I do feel like there are systems in place that thrive off of negative energy, man. They thrive off of keeping people in that mode, in that modus of operandi, man. There's people who thrive off of seeing you sad, man. They thrive off of seeing you down, you know what I mean? They feed off of that, like psychic vampire type shit. You know, they thrive off of seeing you low. And we got to be aware of that, you know what I'm saying? That even regardless of how positive you want to be in this system or in any other system you find yourself, just know that you're going to encounter forces, individuals who've been programmed, people who've been, you know what I'm saying, their psyche has been wired to only regurgitate negativity. They see you doing positivity. They see you living in love. They get angry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why is he or she like that? Or
exactly.
Why is they always like that? And it's like, man, it's, if you knew the truth behind the matter of how long it took that person to transition from that frequency, you would have a greater appreciation for that, but you can't see it because you're so fixated on your conditioning that, like you said, the only thing that you know is what you know. And then it goes back into the Bible as well. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
Right.
And that's where we step into play. We can only do our best to make them become aware of what it is that they're doing, but it's up to them to make that change themselves. You can continue to run all you want, but at the end of the day, you will be faced with yourself. At some point in time, you will be alone and you will be shocked with everything that you have done. I'm not saying you're out there doing malicious things, you're out here intentionally hurting people, but you are, and you have done things unconsciously that have caused people some pain, that have made people's psyches and frequencies shift within them because of the experience that they've had with you. And they thought that this experience was dope. They thought it was amazing. And then now, 5-10 weeks later down the line, they begin to see who you truly are behind the facade. And it's like how you said, if you come at me with that, I have defenses and I have, what's the word for it? There's a word for it, but I could retrieval failure. I am prepared. You put it to you.
Yes. I mean, ammunition. You got ammo.
Ammunition, yes. We got ammo, and the clips are loaded. Let me tell you, because we not doing it over here. Because it's too much energy to hold ourselves accountable for when we find ourselves in that negative space. That takes energy within itself, because we have to continue to cultivate the balance within us. We're not going to always be love and light, nor are we going to always be darkness and shadow work. But we have to know that we are one and the same.
Brother, sorry, I don't want to cut you short. That brings me to a question. I don't want to forget this. Do you feel like some individuals have marinated their minds in so much negativity to the point where there is no way that they can, I would say, be saved? Like, there's no can now get them to see the importance of even them being positive to save their own lives?
See, I don't think that they're aware of what they're doing. I think that internally they believe that they're coming from a true place of love because they're adhering to who they truly are. But they're so, like I said, the conditioning that started at a young age is so strong nowadays that they're not able to have the self-awareness to see how their actions, words, and just how they move throughout daily life begins to affect other people. I don't think that these people are not able to be quote unquote saved, for lack of better terms. I believe that these people have to do the work necessary to understand, okay, why is it that people always say I'm doing this thing? And if you can't see it, but other people can see it, then something's going on there, because you being inside the cage, you won't be able to see it. It's always somebody else externally that'll be able to bring you to that light for you. But with that being said, again, there are some people who are just not ready to do that work. And they may not even want to. They may be so fixated in that energy, it may be so strong. The dark side, quote unquote, may be so strong with them that they believe that everything that they're doing and in the route that they're going to do it is the right thing. It's like, the hero and the villain. They're one and the same. You know what I mean? It's the same energy. It's just that one isn't accepted by society because one is doing something that the others don't want to do. You know what I mean? Like, let's take Thanos for an example. Boy's mission and purpose is to wipe out half of existence. And he truly believes that that's the way to balance out the universe. And then the Avengers are like, nah, player, you know what I mean? I understand why, but, maybe there's a different way we can go about doing this. You're talking about killing a lot of people, and Thanos is like, I mean, if you look at the way the world is now, these people ain't trying to change. Just like he's saying, and they won't ever change. So I'm going to play divine intervention. I'm going to collect these stones. I'm going to snap my fingers, and then that's going to be that. Then it's the same thing with Killmonger too. People looked at him like, bro, like, we should probably listen to him, because the route that he's going about doing it may not be the most accepted by society, but his heart is in a good place because he's trying to liberate all of the people that are not within Wakanda at that point in time. You see what I'm saying? Yep. So it's all about the intentions behind what you're doing. That's why I say that. That's why I say I don't think that they're forever damned. It's just a choice.
Right. Yeah, that's a very, very. I think I like the way you put that too. Even though I would, I do think that, there is people, that completely, bro, I'm telling you, man, it's almost like how the scripture talks about those people who decided to not believe, and then God gave them over now to their disbelief. And by that, now they live and they reap the fruits and the rewards of that thought process. And it'll only take the light for them to really, really get out of that. It's not like within their own state, they don't even have that power. They need grace.
Yes, from themselves first. And that's,
what I'm saying?
It's hard to really give yourself grace in a state of fear and ego. It's a challenging thing to do.
Yes, because it's not easy. I mean, just like how you said, we do the work every single day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even till today, I still fight that. You know what I'm saying? Still go within myself, still catch my own thoughts, still listen to my own emotions, my own feelings every single day. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that everybody has the time to do that. Not everybody out there gonna have the time to really, really tap into themselves and do that. You know what I mean? That's why we're doing this podcast, for those people who might be driving to work or whatever the case is, or maybe you're just in the kitchen cooking, so you can go ahead and listen down to it. And I think one thing too is we need to be able to be encouraging positive reactions and positive actions to be able to keep that wave alive even more. You know what I mean? Because think about it. How many people you know that tell you they done got fucked over a couple of times, they done got screwed over a couple of times, and for that reason, they're not good anymore. Like, you know what I mean? I used to be good, and now I'm not going to do that no more because I done got screwed over so many times. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They need that reinforcement. Somebody needs to remind them, like, look, it is good to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is good to be positive. Somebody needs that. Sometimes we do need that extra push, that extra reminder. Like, look, it is perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? Even if you get screwed over a couple of times, keep the love going. You know what I'm saying? Keep it alive. You know what I mean? Or what you think about that? I think you got something to add on to that.
Man, that's my life right there in a nutshell, man. To keep it 100 with you, not even gonna lie. Coming from a single parent household where it was just my mother who raised my brother and I. She always taught me, the value of being strong and always remaining true to yourself. And at some point in time, I feel like she taught me about boundaries, but I'm learning about that now. So maybe she really didn't teach me about boundaries. But I have had some shit happen to me recently, growing up as a kid. And I'm not for those of y'all that's listening. I'm not saying that what happened to me is any worse than anything that happened to y'all. I'm just saying we all have gone through some things. So it's been times, man, where that I wanted to shut off my humanity. I didn't want to feel anymore. I didn't want to exude that level of energy at the magnitude that I was exuding it, because being a young kid, I really didn't understand why I had all of this energy and why I was coming from such an authentic place of love. And other people just would see that and they would either play snake in the grass, or they would just use me and abuse me and get what they can get out of me. But as I've gotten older, I've realized too that because I am a good person and because people themselves aren't by nature, quote unquote, good, I have to implore more discretion when it comes to who I associate with. Because I have to remind myself that knowing that I'm this way, that also makes me sensitive in a way as well. I can easily fall off the handle if some bad shit happens to me. And I'm like, nah, fuck everybody. I ain't trying to fuck with nobody. I'm gonna just be by myself. I'm gonna lead a country and I'm just gonna live in a hut and I fuck with nobody. There have been times where I've thought about that. There have been times where I've just operated out of that place, but I understand that, as you were saying, those chapters in our lives that happen to us are only there to show us the truth of who we truly are. It's not to make you bitter, it's to make you harder. In a sense, it's to make you more compassionate to men and women and to the world. Because it's not to take away your natural state of love and loving and being a loving person. It's to remind you that there is also a balance within the world too. And there will always and that balance will always be there, but it's also just as imperative to know that you are the reciprocal of that. So if you meet somebody that's doing quote unquote injustice to you, just know that you also are capable of doing said thing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So nine times out of 10, you probably have done that too, and you just may not have been aware of it. And then people like me, I'm a good person. I never hurt nobody. And it's like nobody's that good.
Exactly. That's
true. What I mean? Yeah, no, because you're human. You know what I mean? Well, you're borrowing this vessel, I should say. So, yeah, man. For me, it's in. I know you're not well versed on the human design, but within the human design, that's something that I'm always going to have a challenge with within my experience here. With the reciprocal of being good, and then having something happen to me, and then being on the verge of just like insanity. Like full-blown Joker status, you know what I mean? But that's okay. I see that as extreme. I see that as healthy because it brings a different perspective to the psyche. You get to see what both energies are like on the other side of the rock. That's not necessarily saying that you have to adhere to either of them, but it's best if you dip your toe in it to see what those waters are like, so that way you have knowledge of it. It's about you wanting to do bad to somebody else because somebody done bad to you. It's about understanding that you are also capable of this. But it's important to not let the world get to you so much that you stop being a loving person. Exactly. You've always been that. And I've said this before and I will continue to say this again, like nothing is ever really wrong with us. The world just gets to us. It's important that we don't let the world consume us. because that's when some people will say that this person is beyond saving or this person is damned.
Right. Which is, I mean, that's my mentor always told me, man. He was like, just from what you're saying, you got to be able to consume the world and not let the world consume you. And you can either consume it negatively or positively, just depending on your intentions and your motives, like you said earlier. You know what I mean? When your intentions are good, of course, you could consume it by spreading love and spreading positive energy, man. And I'm really glad that you made that point, that the innate nature in us, we can all manifest both positive and negative. You know what I mean? And we do have a choice. No man is good. But then I'd like to also add on to the point of we can boost ourselves to kind of low-key have that mentality like the monks, man. Okay, take it for instance, like you catch a monk, bro, he be meditating, bro. He balance his mind to a certain state. But don't mean that he will not whoop your ass respectfully, like how we was talking about. You know what I'm saying? He would definitely whoop your ass respectfully when you cross those lines. You know what I'm saying? And do it with all divine love. You know what I'm saying?
Do it with the utmost love. For real. He about to pull out that staff, and that's about to be your ass. Like it's over for you. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Because he was in his space, you know what I'm saying? He was minding his business, doing what he had to do, and you felt the need to disturb that peace, you know what I'm saying? And of course, you disturb that peace, the frequency is going to get altered, but it'll still come back to that natural calmness. So, you know, one thing I wanted to talk about, brother, was the use of positive mantras and the use of positive affirmations as solution, as daily solutions to now get you into that state where even if negativity is coming at you, you would be able to quickly recognize it and snap out of it and control the situation without necessarily letting it alter your inner state. You know, I realized how mantras help me out a lot. I ain't gonna lie, mantras, I listen to a lot of, you know, I would say a lot of the Indian mantras are dope, man. You know, the Shiva mantras, you listen to the Kalima mantras help out a lot. You know, you listen to the Krishna mantras, those are dope too. Listening to gospel music is amazing as well too, you know what I'm saying? Because it'll put your mind into that state of always knowing how you can counter the energy without necessarily coming off as you want to annihilate it. Like you can balance it. You can really help harness people's chakras when you balance within your own self, you know what I'm saying? You can heal and balance people's chakras just by using your own words as well too. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you can really, really calm somebody's flame when your own flame is pretty much balanced, you know what I'm saying? Inner flame is balanced, you can balance other people as well. And then one thing I wanted to talk to you about too, brother, today is, have you ever had situations where you were mad or you were really angry and you found yourself listening more to dark music to calm the situation, but then it aggravated you even more?
You speaking to the choir, bro. So now what I will say is that I just went through this recently too, October of last year, you know, on for maybe about 90 days, maybe like 120 days. But what I found is that me being in that state is the perfect opportunity for me to dive deep into my darkness to find out just how deep it goes. So what I did was, you know, if I was angry, and I would listen to dark meditation music, I would listen to vampiric music, anything that was looked at as evil, when in essence it's really just the opposite sides of the coin. Others people would say that it's actually beautiful music. And what I found is that the shadow aspects of you really manifest themselves when you're alone in that space listening to that music. You get to see it very vibrantly. And I only believe that you're able to do that when you are in a lower frequency. So and it's not saying that you can't do them when you're neutral, because you can do them when you're neutral. It's just that it's more prominent when you happen to be angry. I wouldn't say that it actually, it did. It made me more, I had more of that fire. You know, it was more of like my sacral energy was like put right under the grill, and then somebody threw gasoline on it, and I basically became a human torch. But it was controlled because my ego wanted to just like grab my phone and be like, you, da, 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 da. Right. But at the same time, I'm like, I need to breathe through this. I need to circulate this energy continuously, because if I don't do that, it can stay rooted in different places. It can stay rooted within different energy centers within my body, thus leading me to take an egotistical action.
Yep.
Now, is that action good?
Now, I don't want to cut you, just try to hold that thought, man. That brings me to this, man, because what you just said is really, really important, as in some people do be thinking, oh, no, it's all good. I can just listen to this, or I can just watch it, and it's perfectly fine, but not seeing the after effects of it or the long-term effects of it, of constantly listening to that, especially if your mind is not absolutely balanced within itself. You know what I mean? Because the reason why I had asked you that question was because when you're in a good mental state and you listen to dark music, if you're not really, really balanced, it'll agitate you, but not to the point where you'll be knocking chairs over. But when you angry and you listen to that, you ready to burn down the whole house type shit. You know, you ready to, because it will, you know what I mean? So I think that being balanced and maintaining that balance, be it through meditation or be it through prayer or whatever your means of attaining that balance is really, really important for all of us to really tap into that, especially if we're all to coexist in this new age that we're getting into. We need to notice that, like you're saying, negative energy is going to be there. It's probably something that we can't really get rid of. It's something that's always going to be there. We just got to know how to really, really balance it and live with it and actually use it positively, because sometimes it's not as bad as we think. It's just how you use that energy and for what purposes you're using it for.
Yes. And that, to add on to that, man, too, it goes back to choice too. Like you can still feel all of it. And that's exactly what that energy is for. It's meant for you to feel through it, so that way the next time you encounter it, you are more able to control it versus the latter. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So when we're listening to these affirmations, you know, the brain is taking in these frequencies because there's so much electricity that's going on inside our heads on a constant basis. So when we choose to operate from a place of gratitude, which is also neutrality, you remain there. Other things happen to you that shift your levels of frequency, but if you're so focused on operating within the positive frequency of always constantly umming and you never coming down and you never getting angry, then anytime you do get angry, you know, you're gonna fly off the handle. You're gonna start busting caps. You know what I mean? Like you could just start freaking out.
Brother, I would beg to differ just on a little bit, because I do believe that the more you grow in consciousness, you can get to that level where you can control it. You can actually, like, it's like martial arts. It's like Shaolin. You watch the Shaolin monks. You see how they get into this state where they fight, but their facial expression never changes. You know, you don't know whether they mad whooping your ass or they happy or whatever it is. You know what I mean? You can't really tell, man. You know,
it goes back to what Bruce Lee said, man. We need emotional content. We need it. Yes. We need it because that, like, when you're angry, you're not logical. But as you just said, you can still be angry, but it can be a focused anger. And I mean, you come across Bruce Lee, he's the most loving person, but you know, if you cross that boundary, before you know what happens, like, it's over for you. You know what I mean? It's a wrap at that point. So and he mentions that in his interview too. He says that it's martial art it's an incompensation of everything. But if you're just learning it just to do somebody in, then you don't understand what martial art truly is, because you have to understand that it's about control. At the end of the day, it's about cultivating that control, knowing that you're able to be cruel and choosing not to be cruel takes more power than just being a rabbit. You know, that goes back to Jordan Peterson, you know what I mean? So I think about that a lot anytime I get angry. And that's what I was going to say, is like, if I'm in this state of anger, if I'm in this frequency, let me sit with this. Let me see what this feels like. Let me make sure that I understand what's going on here, because in essence, that's our primal state. It's just raw sexual energy that's just coursing through our body. The adrenaline is just moving, And if you've never fully operated within it and sat within it, you're not really comfortable with being in that state. That goes back to what you're saying too. You can get to a point to where that you can feel the negativity, see it for what it really is, learn from this chapter, integrate it so that way the next time something happens again, you're still angry, but you're content at the same time. You don't let that anger rule you or govern your actions.
Yep. Even though sometimes, man, I'm gonna tell you, when you look at nature, for instance, when you see a cat, man, the cat is probably one of the most gentle animals that you would ever see, bro. But the second you cross that cat, you're gonna see the hairs on the back is gonna stand up, the claws is gonna come out, fangs and all that's gonna come out, and after that, they're gonna get back to the original state, being calm as ever. You would never think that they could ever get to that, you know what I'm saying? And you can't say the cat was being negative because it was responding to the stimuli of the environment, you know what I'm saying? That's not what, it wasn't being negative. Like, if you cross me and I'm trying to defend, I'm not being negative at that point, bro. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know that, you know what I'm saying? I can get there. Like, you trying to do that, you know what I'm saying? You know,
Dude, don't get it twisted.
yeah, I can get there. That's just in my human nature. Because a lot of people be thinking, "Oh, nah, don't get it twisted." You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between being negative and actually tapping into your own inner power to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? When that time to do that. You know what I mean? And what we're saying is a lot of people vibrate on that frequency where they're always in that mode of wanting to
Fight.
You know, exactly, to fight, you know what I'm saying, or project that energy that's making other people uncomfortable. And that's what we're saying. We're saying that, you know what I'm saying, that's not necessary. I did have something else that I wanted to bring up that was going to tie into what we're talking about. But I think that kind of washed over the wave a little bit. So you can keep going there. When it comes back, I'm gonna run it by you again.
Oh no, man. It's like you said, it's all about balance at the end of the day when it comes to negative and positive energy. But one of the things that I see a lot is that with everything grabbing your attention, it's all about who can get there first. You know what I mean? So people are operating out of a fight or flight state, which is also increasing their cortisol levels as well. So it's like whoever can get to the top first is a state of what everybody is in right now, at least in the social media sense. You know, so people love gossiping. People
right.
love toxic. People love toxicity. People enjoy the tea. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I enjoy listening to it. I can't even front. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I enjoy listening to it, but I listen because I'm like, I try to see where the cognitive dissonance is at. You know what I mean? I try to see like what may have happened to get this person to this point to where they think like this. And it doesn't, and it goes back to what we were saying earlier. It doesn't mean that they can't change. It's just something happened that made them get to that point.
Right.
So and that's what I mean by when I say that I enjoy listening to it. Like as far as me like constantly being around gossip and all that shit, nah, man. Like I remember it got to a point where that my mom, she would always call up the phone just to gossip. And like anytime she did it, I leave the room, bro. I'm not even lying. Like even nowadays, like if she call up somebody and I'm over there, you know, God bless this woman's soul. Like if I'm over there, bro, and she on the phone, I'm like, bro, I'm out. Like you gonna catch me in the living room. Like I'm gonna be grabbing a snack or something. Like I'm not trying to be around that. And you know how mom is, right? Like if you try to present a different perspective to her, what you talking about? I'm just talking. No, you're not just talking. It don't work like that.
Yeah, I got friends like that I just really, I don't really talk to them too much, man, because it's just I let them, you know, sit with that for a little bit, and then eventually, when you don't have anybody to do that with, then of course, eventually you start questioning yourself, and then when you pick up your phone, you're calling people and not answering, then you start to get the clue, like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, maybe it's because
I change some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I had to tell my friend the other day, bro. I was like, I had to keep it real, and I'm like, bro, like, how the fuck you get yourself into this shit? What the fuck you doing? Like for real, like you laughing? I'm dead serious. Cause like he called me up and he telling me all this shit, and I'm like, the minute he calls, I know some shit done happened. And he's calling me because I'm his conscience in a sense. Like I'm the guru of the group. I'm not a guru. I am a guru to me, but y'all get it. Yeah, so he'll call me up. Yeah. He called me, man, and he just started laughing. I'm like, bro, what you want? Like I don't know why you keep calling me. I'm gonna keep telling you the same shit that I've been telling you, and now I'm just at this point, like, nigga, how you end up here? Like,
not seriously.
Like, why are we even still having this discussion right now? You know what I mean? Like,
brother, let me ask you this question though, because I know we're hitting the 50 mark. I want to keep it under an hour. Brother, why do you think positivity nowadays is more boring than the negative stuff? Like, why is that? You know what I'm saying? Why is it that, you know, negative energy just seems to be what's trending a lot, man? And then when it comes to people projecting positive energy, it's just boring. Like people will not like your stuff if it's positive. If you notice that, if you're really on some real positive stuff and you start it up, people are not going to share your stuff. They're not going to be commenting on it when you project positivity. But the second you project some drama, like something bad happened in your life and you share that, everybody is on there. You know what I'm saying? That didn't spread more faster than anything else. Why is it that way? Why, in your humble opinion, what is the reason for all of that?
In my humble opinion, man, it's because some people, they aren't ready for that. You know, they're so intertwined with what's happening with somebody else's life that the truth of the matter of them actually doing work to not distract themselves is scary to them. So it may not be, because like in social media, but they have all this like love, positive light and shit going on, which is cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. However, that can also be detrimental to people, because people who haven't done the work to integrate their shadow side become too fixated on the world being all love and light, and then some shit happens, and they're like, God damn, like I didn't think this, but I thought the world was love and light, and it's like, nah, bro, that's not what I'm saying. So that's something that we really have to pay attention to too, as well. We have to really be able to like balance out the energies within us. But to get back to your question, people enjoy it, man. I said this. People's need to be right is more prominent than their need for the truth.
Oh, their need for doing right. I like that, but yeah.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? It's like they like, and you find that it's always about them being right when it comes to something toxic or something negative. Like their ego would not allow them to submit to them being like, I fucked up. I need to take a look at myself. Let me sit down. Let me do some introspection and find out what the fuck is going on. People don't, men and women, they don't like that. And the reason why they don't like that is because they haven't spent enough time with themselves to allow their ego to settle for a little bit. So that way when they are exposed to something like that again, they can look at it from an objective place, not from a place of, I need to be correct. You see what I'm saying? So like it's, like you said, if it's something positive, if it's something that is out here really trying to get people to do the work themselves, it gets overlooked. Man, prime example, every podcast that I've made, I posted on my Facebook. I use Facebook as, or most social media, I use it for business and things of that nature. But you know how many people like that shit, bro? On total, like five. And no, we're not out here for likes. For the people that's listening, we're not out here for the likes. We're not out here for the clout. We want y'all to share and listen to this, but we just want you to also be aware of the nature of the human being in today's society. It's not about how can I help you? It's about what she did, what he did. Why are men divesting from women? It's like people all about that rah. But if you sit their ass down, and that's another thing too. I find that the reason why people are so easily able to discard positivity is because anytime somebody tries to sit them down and spread that seed, again, their cognitive dissonance is like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not trying to hear that. Let me just go it on over here, bro. Take that shit, take that love and light shit somewhere else. So like they already have a preconceived notation on what it is that we're doing instead of just listening.
Yep. And just for the record, you right. That if that's how they already feeling, you bet you got that right. You damn sure ain't ready for this, because this is like that X-Lax. You're running through all of that BS, getting it out. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, there's a million more people coming into the consciousness of the light by the minute every single day. Most of them just don't talk a lot. They're not taking it upon themselves to step into what we're doing right now. But it's, you know what I'm saying, we're replicating the consciousness it's floating upon the planet, bro. You'll be surprised, man. You'll be surprised.
No, I agree.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, even though from what I've noticed too, people might not necessarily like, but they're paying attention. They watch, you know what I'm saying? Ties into the ego all of a sudden. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't want you to have the impression that they're checking you out, but of course they are checking it out. You know what I'm saying? You know, this whole social media thing is just ridiculous. It's a big joke, but I'm playing it too. Now, I'm playing the game, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, you know, because I understand, because before there was social media, we was able to gather and talk amongst ourselves and freely talk. And even if somebody rebuked you in person, it wasn't out of hate, it was just out of love. You know what I'm saying? You got to reevaluate your thoughts and then regurgitate what you got in your mind. But now, in social media, people can easily just mute you. They can easily block you, whatever the case is. But guess what? We just gonna keep the light spreading, because we know at the end of the day, it's to get more candles lit. And if you already lit, that's one of the more candles that we're trying to get lit. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to keep light. We're going to keep spreading light. We're going to protect our light. We're going to keep it shining till the very end, till the wax is burnt out. It's going to keep shining, for real. So I'm brother, inshallah, may the grace of God continue to guide you in everything that you're doing, and you continue to project it full scale, man. And everybody you come across in person, don't stop, man. Just keep it going, because at the end of the day, the most important part is that we're getting more candles lit and we stay lit.
Yeah, just as I couldn't have said it better, brother. You know what I mean? It's this path is not easy by any means necessary, but we would not have been given this life if we did not have the mental fortitude and the spiritual fortitude to be able to be successful within it. So that's why, we take it day by day. As long as we wake up and there's breath within us, that within itself is a blessing. So just operating from that place alone, we can move through life a little bit easier and not succumb to all of life's bullshit. Let's put it to you like that. Just all of life's bullshit.
You listen to a lot of people who quote unquote might be operating from a dark place or from a negative place, I would say, because I don't really like to associate dark with negative. I think that's not the right way to really
I agree.
Not identify it. But if you meet people who are operating from a negative place and then they tell you that they've studied the laws of attraction and they know that the laws of attraction state that whatever you think, you manifest it. So then they thinking about, if you constantly thinking murder, and you always constantly thinking, I'm going to steal, what you think you're going to do eventually?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when we propagating that, it's very important for us to remove that vibration of love. You know what I'm saying? It's not because we out here being crazy or we just want to act like we're better than everybody else. But that's what people is out here thinking. Oh, now what they thinking? Oh, now they thinking they more righteous or whatever the case. That's not it. That's not what we're talking about. We're just simply saying that the laws of attraction is real. And as you think it, it's going to manifest. You know what I'm saying? You keep on dwelling in whatever it is that you're dwelling in constantly, day in, day out, whatever the case is, you're going to hurt somebody else. And sometimes you might just do it because of the adrenaline, the cortisol. You know what I'm saying? That chemical reaction in your brain that you didn't feel for so long eventually just starts to manifest psychosomatically. You know what I mean? And we're trying to balance that. I think we're just here to balance this whole thing out, man. You just got to maintain the balance. That's all it is. Provide that bridge to let people know you don't have to dwell in that, because we used to dwell in it too. I'm not trying to be anybody's enemy out here. Goddamn, since when did wanting to dwell under the light make you an enemy? I'm trying to figure it.
Yes.
Since when did you just wanting to love your neighbor, see him coexist with you, make you a bad guy? God damn. Yeah, we really got this.
We got some work to do, man, and we are already doing it, but it's okay though. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all good. By us being here today, by all of you that are listening and that have listened to previous episodes that we have had within the garden, then you already know what we are about at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So just take this with you, share this, have your own conversations, come to your own conclusions, and then continue to walk that path. It's not going to be an easy one. You will be pissed off at some point in time. I'm pretty sure my brother and I have said some things that may have pissed you off, but that's okay though. You know what I mean? It's all good. Like we piss you off out of love at the end of the day.
Because we try to get you to, come through and pull up and do all that crazy stuff. That's not what we're trying to get at. We just simply say, because if you do pull up, we might have a verbal war. And it's going to be a verbal war of me not even necessarily being, aggressive, but me shedding light, because that's one thing I like to encourage too, man. We need to encourage more debates, bro. People need to be able to debate in a professional, amicable way. If you disagree with me, we need to sit down and really talk about it and debate about it in a real friendly manner. Like how me, you sometimes you go back and forth, even if we don't agree, I'll let you know, I might not agree on that fully, but I see your reasoning. But hey, we're still growing together. We're still sharing in the knowledge, man. We're supposed to be able to do that as people. Why is it difficult for us? Why you got to pull up on me and flash the 9? I don't want to see 9. You know what I mean?
We're not even about that. Like, what? Bro, calm down. You pull up with the smoke already. Like, we haven't talked. Like, we haven't said anything.
Right. Like, bro, I'm not trying to, you ain't got to pull up with an AK, bro. That's not what we was talking about. The last time I checked, I didn't mention I was a gangbanger, bro. I don't do nothing. But hey, it's people out there who do get aggravated to get to that level where they just cannot stand your light, man. They just want to knock it out. They just want to blow out your candle. Man, it's not even their birthday. They blowing out candles, man.
For real, that was good.
Yeah, man, for real. I'm just saying, but nonetheless, brother, we hit the 1 hour mark. This is absolutely amazing. If you got some type of conclusion, brother, let's run it. Let's wrap it, man.
Oh man, y'all, thank you all. Always. Thank you. We love all of you. As we said earlier, man, we're not even going to give y'all too much about it. Just know we got one more coming for y'all. One more, right? It might not be just us two on the panel. And that's all I'm going to say on that one, man.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to get some guests on it. It's going to be amazing. Y'all just tune into the Eternal Garden. keep in mind that the garden is alive in all of us. You know what I mean? You got your own inner garden. You have your inner space where you can always get to whenever you feel down. Even if you cannot get to this podcast, just know that, you know what I'm saying, it was all out of love. You couldn't get through all of it, or you just forwarded to the end, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Just know that the garden lives inside of you. Peace and love is inside of you. You know what I'm saying? And that's all that we've been talking about since we started with the very first episode. And now that we're concluding it, all we're really saying is that love, peace, and whatever joy that you're looking for lives inside of you. Like the Bible says, the kingdom is within you. You know what I mean? Don't look too far. You know what I'm saying? That's all that we're talking about. I'm grateful that, you know what I'm saying, I was able to hold this with my brother. Thank you so much, Mr. Griff. This was absolutely amazing. I look forward to the bonus that we're going to be dropping. I know you out there in Germany right now, man. Man, for you to even still take all your time to do this, man, that means God is really working through you. It's amazing, brother, for real, for real. Man, just keep spreading the light, bro. I can't, you know what I'm saying, like I said, man, we fading off, man. The flesh is fading, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're just putting stuff into the ether now that can echo in somebody's mind so they can think about the greater light as well, man. But besides that, man, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay tuned in. It's your boy, the Common Denominator. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel at Folklore Online, where you can follow me on all of the social media platforms at FOKWA, Folklore Official. You know what I mean? We do Sermon on the Gram every second and last Sunday. We drop music, you know what I'm saying? We do collaborations. We do features. You know what I mean? We do podcasts like what we got with my brother right here. I mean, we just got everything that you're looking for. God damn, brother. I mean, we just dropped y'all boy Even Digest today. You know, so, yeah, you know, we got all of that. So, you know, y'all stay tuned. Thank you so much. And Brother Griff, hey, Brother Griff, drop them your socials too, man. Drop them that way. They can
hey, man, y'all can follow me. You know, I'm on, obviously I'm on the gram, Griff So Official. You can follow me on Facebook, Dorian Griffin. I'm on there. Don't have the YouTube channel yet, but my brother is really encouraging me to put all of the podcasts out on YouTube. Yeah. So I will be doing that as well. I'm on TikTok, just Griff, even though I'm not active on there as often as I would like to be. I'm active on there. You can check out some of the content, but I am heavily active on the gram. If y'all want to shoot me an email, man, y'all got any info, any questions about me, anything that y'all would like me and my brother to discuss, you know, we can definitely make that happen. Or if you would like to hear something from me, I can make that happen for you. But thank you all. I appreciate you. Y'all can follow me on there. And we're going to be back, man. We got something really, really nice in store for y'all.
Oh, man, of course, bro. And I was thinking, too, man, there are different ways that we're going to be using to, you know, keep the light of love alive, man. And we're going to discuss that off camera, you know what I'm saying? So thank you, brother. And, yeah, y'all stay blessed, man. Much love.